Welcome back to the All Long Island Games here at Breezy Park in Huntington. And we have the seniors, the guys who just graduated, playing in an all-star game, which should be a lot of fun. And, we're talking about some of the best players in the country. When you think about high school lacrosse from this past season, of course, you had St. Anthony's, which was ranked the #2 team in the country. We got some players from there. Kevin Kearns on defense, Pat Carragher, who's playing some attack. And then, of course, Chaminade and Manhasset, both nationally ranked. We're going to see guys like Gavin Creo here in attendance. And also some of the most entertaining players as well. I mean, Jake Lewis out of Calhoun and Luke Meyer out of Port Washington, they are known for putting on a show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And speaking of that, a behind-the-back attempt from Tyler McCarthy, just a little wide. So this ball picked up, and this is a fun matchup between Billy Francois and Luke Meyer. Meyer, who is a stud for Port Washington. Francois did his thing at Longwood. We're not going to see that Port Washington-Longwood matchup, but we get to see these two face off here in the All Long Island Games. And here's Cole Weber. Weber, the LSM/close defenseman who is going to the University of Virginia. His shot saved by Michael Ippoliti. But, yeah, Cole Weber, he was terrific in the Long Island Championship win for GC over West Islip. And he's going to be a lot of fun to watch. He can really go up and down whenever he wants. And speaking of long poles, we have a pole goal. And it's a guy who's used to scoring them, Peter Toman out of Calhoun, one of the most electrifying players in America. He goes a little coast to coast. Toman finds the back of the cage. And he was a big reason why Calhoun had their magical run. And, for those who don't know, Calhoun's never won a Nassau County championship in lacrosse. They built up a special team with a senior class, and this season they were able to upset Southside in the semifinals. And then Jake Lewis, Peter Toman, and, the rest of that special senior class went against Garden City toe-to-toe. It was a 6-6 game. They were inches away from taking the lead, but then GC ended up going up 7-6 and holding on for the win, where Jake Lewis, who's in this game, stepped in the crease, and it was GC winning 7-6. I mean, there's so many players from each team here today. A lot of fun. We saw some Garden City kids in the 2024 game. We saw Dennis Fargione, the goalie, who ended up going coast to coast in a really fun 2024 game. And Jackson Green with the takeaway. He throws it over to Lewis. Lewis, little toe drag, but he's stuffed by Braden Wilkin. Wilkin on the outlet pass. He's got to Christian Colantonio. Looking for the LSM there, unable to find his guy. And a lot of these guys, so of course, 2023s don't play travel ball anymore, but they had some real special teams, a lot of shore-to-shore guys that were impressive. We see Luke Meyer and Jack Archer on the field together. That Express 2023 team with Gavin Creo and Jake Lewis was awesome. And then, of course, that 91 Bandits team, so many guys, right? Kevin Kearns, Jackson Green. Felt like it was filled with St. Anthony's players. And now here's Tyler McCarthy, one of Long Island's leading scorers. He dishes it off to Pat Carragher for a laser. and the dark team will score. And Pat Carragher out of St. Anthony's, he had a great senior season, had a couple big goals in that championship win over Chaminade. And what really impresses about Carragher is his knack to find the back of the net. And, he shows it there with the big righty shot. And, he was awesome. And you got a lot of guys from, of course, public schools, private schools, Nassau, Suffolk, you name it, they're all here today. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I expect some position switching as well, and Peter Tillman wins the ground ball. I mean, you take a look at the speed on number 11. It's almost effortless for him, the UNC-bound senior. Has really got some wheels. Jackson Green on the far side. Green definitely made a case as one of the best midfielders in the country this season, as short sticks simply were unable to guard him throughout the year. And he's going to be a lot of fun to watch in this one. His acceleration is really something special. As he's going against Daniel Costantino. Costantino, LSM, going to LIU. He was part of a strong Ward Melville defense. It felt like Suffolk County Class A was just loaded with defensemen. That was a special conference, man. That was the one conference where I was like, there are 6 teams that could win it, and it ended up being Northport. And Gavin Creo's shot on the run just wide. And Creo, good career at Chaminade. He was unable to beat St. Anthony's, but he had that 5-goal game against Manhasset to really cement his legacy, beating one of the best Manhasset teams put together, right? They were undefeated. Manhasset, they did everything on their schedule. They beat everybody except Chaminade, and mainly because of the guy right there. It was Gavin Creo with the right-handed shot, and the shifty attackman heading to Richmond finds his first goal of the afternoon. And when you take a look at some of the attack lineups here, we just look at this white attack unit, look really good. I mean, Gavin Creo, Luke Meyer, and Jake Lewis is one of the most special units you can actually put together. And that's one of the coolest parts about games like this is, true all-star teams being put to the task, going against each other. It's a lot of fun. And a skip pass looking for Costantino. That one goes over. It's going to be over and back. And the white team's going to take over. See if Archer elects to push. Gives it off to Meyer. Meyer thinking about it. Gets to the middle of the field, and he finds the back of the net. Luke Meyer out of Port Washington gives the white team a 2-1 lead. And Luke Meyer has to be one of the most physical lacrosse players on Long Island, right? I mean, you take a look at what he did during his senior year. Yeah, he put up amazing numbers, but what Meyer really did was body his defenders, and he did a good job getting to that left hand and being able to finish through contact. Also has good vision as well. And, he's going to have a lot of fun in this all-star game. And that was Anthony Sakos on the ground ball. And Peter Tolman unleashes one. That one's saved by Wilkin. Wilkin gives out to McCarthy, over to Cole Weber. Weber's pass batted down. And that was Ryan Fountain. Fountain's pass a little bit low for Jake Lewis. And when you look up and down on this roster, I mean, there's a reason why all these guys are in this game. All Division I commits, essentially, and a lot of really special players. I mean, we got a couple LIU coaches here to see their future players perform in this one. And speaking of LIU commits, I mentioned Jake Lewis and how special he was all year, being one of Nassau County's point leaders. But you have Daniel Costantino, you have Anthony Sackos, who was terrific out of Wantagh. And you also have Ryan Fountain out of Massapequa. You know, some people, a little bit of a quieter senior year, but Ryan Fountain is one of the most athletic players on Long Island. I mean, look what he did in the football season. One of the top wide receivers out of Massapequa. And we'll see a pole goal for the Dark team. As able to get the edge there. And finish past the netminder. And we'll do the classic rock, paper, scissors to see who gets the ball. And it'll be the white team. And if you were with us in the 2024 game, I mean, of course, a lot of those guys, high Division I commits. We saw a lot of, a lot of fun, a lot of antics, where, there was a lot of players, and there was a big hit there. As that was Pat Carragher laying the boom. As that went off the stick of Cunningham. Tyler Giuliano, one of those other LIU commits, gives it off to Tyler McCarthy. And McCarthy being guarded by Toman, man. That's one matchup I think a lot of people would have wanted to see in the high school season. Two of the fastest players on the island going head-to-head. Now here's an opportunity. High bouncer from Nico Barbera. Just over the cage. Tyler McCarthy gives it back off up top to what it looked like was Billy Francois. And, McCarthy was on a Connecticut team where, that Thunderbirds group, a lot of people thought this was the year for Connecticut, but they came up just a little bit short. They were the 1 seed heading into the Suffolk County playoffs, lost a heartbreaker to Smithtown East. But, man, I mean, an excellent group over there from the T-Birds, and a big reason why, Tyler McCarthy, right, the senior, headed to Syracuse. And Peter Tolman with a big-time shot, unable to find the cage, but Tolman already has one on the afternoon. And, I mean, you can just see the explosion in Tolman's game, which, obviously makes him one of the most special players out there. Green looking to dish it to Carrillo. That one unable to get there, though. It looked like it bopped off the head of Carrillo's stick. Dark team taking over. Now Kearns is going to try one from deep. That one stopped by Ability. Kearns, who's headed off to Michigan, was a part of a St. Anthony's defense that was, some people's eyes, ridiculous, right? Him, Cole Ashheim, Jaden Jenkins, all high-level Division I commits, and that's not even including Tommy Snyder and Dante Vidaro, who both will be back next season. including some 2025 prospects that are some of the best in the country, like Parker McDonald and Justice Durham. And now Meyer backing down his man. Over to Jackson Green. Gavin Creo picking up off the end line. Creo spinning to his left hand. And Green's pass, unable to get to Jack Archer, who's the intended target. And Archer lost possession for a second. Jake Lewis able to pick it up, and he'll pick up the trash. Lewis puts it in, gets the white team back out in front. Now we got two traditional defensive players at the face-off X. Got Peter Tolman with the short stick, which I think a lot of people would love to see in general. Going against Billy Francois, who ended up winning it. And Francois looking to body his way in, still with it, before getting it off to McCarthy. And McCarthy's shot just wide. Now Carragher backing down his man. That was a great handle, but the shot unable to get on cage was Cole Marsala. And Marsala was such a key piece for Mount Sinai throughout the past couple of years. Big reason why Sinai won the county championship in 2022. Him and Joey Spallina created a terrific connection. And then this year, Mount Sinai, they were undefeated. You know, they got heartbroken by Shore Winning River in the county final, but Marsala was excellent all the way up until that point. Him and Christian Colantonio, two Mount Sinai representatives here. And now here's Anthony Sakos. They call him Bam as his shot just a little wide. But yeah, Anthony Bam Sakos is one of the top players in Nassau County this season. He helped Wantagh defeat Plain Edge in a really tough semifinal game. And then Wantagh had an uphill battle against Manhasset in the Nassau County final. And Anthony Sakos, you know, those Wantagh seniors, they fought hard. They were with Manhasset for a little bit, but the Indians stepped just a little bit too much at the end. But that Wantagh team, you know, Sakos was the leader of it this year, but they got a bright future. Martini brothers are back next year. Devin Pacione. Should be fun to see what they have cooking out down in the South Shore. And Nico Barbera winning the fight for the ground ball. Now Jake Lewis looking to finish, and he gets a little twister to go. So Lewis finds the back of the net, and now things starting to get a little bit fun. We're seeing some of the position changes. Tyler McCarthy putting a long pole in his hands. We'll see Kevin Kearns on attack. And, I mean, with these seniors, they're headed off to college in just around 2 months. They had their terrific high school careers. It's definitely time to start having a lot of fun in this one, as we expected. And we're really letting it begin. And Gavin Creo, righty down the alley, top shelf for the Chaminade native. And that'll do it for the first half. It's a fun one between the top seniors on all of Long Island. You're watching the All Long Island games here on the LI Sports Network. We'll be back. Welcome back to Breezy Park here at the All Long Island Games. It's the class of 2023, the seniors that had such a tremendous high school career, celebrating in one final game here on the island. Of course, their summer ball is no longer a thing. They've graduated from that as well, and now they get to play here in this fun all-star game. And we got, some of the best players in America, right, from this past season. So they get to battle it out with each other one last time before they go to their respective schools. And, these seniors had amazing accomplishments. I was talking about a lot of LIU commits, but you have Kevin Kearns, who's going to the University of Michigan, who is awesome. Cole Weber going to the University of Virginia. Kearns tried to be Gary Gate there, but that shot did not find the back of the cage. And Peter Toman headed to North Carolina. And Anthony Sakos is going to LIU. And now Robbie Cunningham, a shot from deep. That one just wide. And Pat Carragher with it. The Penn State commit now playing long pole. He loses it as Peter Toman takes it away, and there goes the speedster. Luke Meyer on the far side. Meyer shot with the right hand just over the cage. And now Sakos behind the back pass. Jake Lewis, his BTB finish denied by Braden Wilkin. What an amazing play that would have been. Now Cole Antonio not going to step up to him. That's a mistake. It looked like that got the inside pipe, but I guess it just hit the crossbar. And now Kearns on the far side, a little toe drag. Kevin Kearns fakes the around the world. Now Cole Weber with it. He's with the short stick, but his shot denied by Ippoliti. And Weber and Ippoliti both played on an elite shore-to-shore team known as shore-to-shore OGs. I mean, that group especially got a lot of them here today. As Weber looking for a little bragging rights, trying to put it in on Ippoliti. But Farmingdale netminder had a different idea. And Cole Marsala, who's headed to Quinnipiac, dished it to his netminder before that was knocked down by Jake Lewis. Lewis over, Jack Archer with the sweet finish. And that's another one for the white team. So Jack Archer, who's headed to Lehigh, he had his big-time day in the Long Island Championship against West Islip. He had a couple goals, a couple nice assists to help GC really cruise past the Lions in a game that, you know, West Islip, they went up early, but Garden City never looked back after a big second quarter. And, you know, when Garden City gets momentum like that, they showed they're such a tough team to beat. And players like Jack Archer, Stevie Fennell were real difference makers. And what's scary about Garden City is, man, they have a big sophomore class, so they got a lot coming back. As we have another battle of rock, paper, scissors at the face-off X. This time the dark team wins it, and it's a little bit too far to see if they're doing scissors or paper, but I think scissors won that one. So dark team with possession. Now Pat Carragher, what a trail check by Gavin Creo, and you know this is the first time I mean, with his Shamrock career, at least, him playing a lot of attack. You know, he's playing some midfield now, and we get to see a lot of guys just being all over the field. Just a lot of fun, which is awesome. And you get to see Jackson Green carry a long pole in his hand, going against his teammate Pat Carragher. And Carragher, what a look! Almost a great finish, but Ippoliti takes it away, and he might be off to the races. We saw a goalie goal in the last one, but we won't see one right now. So here's Toman. Toman speeding by a guy, but losing it in the process. There's Tristan Malahi, the senior headed to Navy. Malahi wants to score, but his shot just over the cage. And Tristan Malahi was one of the top one-on-one defenders on Long Island from this past season. You take a look at this Garden City defense, right? Tristan Malahi and Cole Weber, I've talked about them a bunch here in this broadcast. But they also had Matt Kephart, who was terrific. He's going to Princeton. He's definitely one of the best pure athletes on the island. And, I mean, Garden City had some sophomore long poles that were excellent, like Luke Lashur, who we saw in the 2025 game. And the list goes on and on for the Trojans. The rich get richer. And Wilkin launches a dime over to Cole Weber. And this shot from deep, no good. And Ippoliti tosses one over.
I got a mental game in Eisenhower today.
To Luke Martin. And Luke Martin, who's headed to Hopkins. He was a 3-year starter for St. Anthony's and, of course, winning 3 straight Catholic League titles. The white team gets another finish. So now we go back to the face-off X. As we got Luke Meyer taking it, the natural lefty attackman out of Port Washington. We'll see if it's an actual face-off or if we get another round of rock, paper, scissors. That's always a big question in this one. It's going to be an actual face-off, won by the dark team. And it's going to be a goal right off the draw. I believe that's Nick Mittenberger out of Longwood, as he's able to cash in there. And Longwood, you know, they might have not had the deepest run in that Suffolk County playoffs, but they had some real talented players, and especially some guys coming from the football field to the lacrosse field. We know how talented the Lions are on the gridiron, and, you know, they had some guys really play well for a lacrosse standpoint and stuff like that. And now we see Billy Francois doing his thing. And for the dark team, we'll take a look at the face-off X going against Peter Toman. It looks like it was Nick Mittenberger again, and he wins it clean. So Malahi and Weber, known as the defensive lockdown duo out of Garden City, get to play a little midfield together, as Garden City held pretty much everybody to single digits, and they won their state championship against Victor by the score of 9-8 in dramatic fashion. As the state championships were at Hofstra this past year, Garden City, Manhasset coming out on top. Manhasset relatively easier win, beating Jamesville DeWitt. As we saw a bunch of the Indians earlier in the 2024 game. And here's multi-sport athlete Robbie Cunningham. I believe he's actually wrestling at the next level, as Cunningham getting it done in multiple sports. Of course, he was key for Miller Place in lacrosse, and they're looking for a hidden ball trick, but the dark team doesn't want that to happen. So Cunningham's got to swim away before throwing up a prayer to his teammate, as Toman was able to handle it. And skip pass, looking to find Cunningham once again, but that one batted away. So here's Wilkin. Well, let's see if Braden Wilkin wants to go for glory. Wilkin over the midfield line. And Wilkin ends up passing it over, but it's offsides, and no short stick stood back. I think everyone was just looking to see if the big fellow Wilkin was going straight to the cage. And now Ryan Fountain with it. And Fountain was a part of a Pequot defense that was very, very talented this past year, right? You had Ryan Fountain, you had Wieserak also on defense, and you had Pat Radomski on the offensive end of things, who was excellent for the Chiefs. Pequot will certainly be back, and also I know this one's a long way away, but in the 2027 game, man, do we see a lot of massive Pequot guys. They're heading into their 9th grade year. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of 9th graders potentially make an appearance on varsity and have an impact, but especially in the years to come, man, Mass Pequot's got a lot of potential. And there's a snipe on the far side from the white team. As that looked like it was Nick Jafaris doing it with the short stick and just launching one, as he's one of the couple Mount Sinai kids here. And Jafaris, traditionally a defenseman who is going to continue his college career at Binghamton, as he was a key piece on why Mount Sinai was so successful. It's back to rock, paper, scissors at the face-off X. And they're going to have to go 3 rounds before deciding this one. And the dark team wins it, so they'll get another offensive possession here. And Pat Carragher back to being the short stick. He gets to work with Kevin Kearns on offense. And Tyler McCarthy from the ground somehow gets it over his head, and we're going to take another look at that. And the internet's going to love this one. McCarthy able to get it past the netminder there, and now Jake Lewis from up top. Lewis looking for a cutting Gavin Creo. But he was unable to get it. What a hustle play, though, on the far side by Nick Barbera. But it looked like the ball just got out of bounds before he saved it. And now Marsala over to Weber. And Kevin Kearns playing X attack with a long pole. You don't see that every day. But that's the beauty of it. And Kearns going against Toman. It's Michigan against Carolina. And Kearns looking for it behind the back, but that one hooks a little wide. And Carragher looking to add another goal to his name, but that one just a little wide. I think Ippoliti got a piece of it. And just 4 minutes left in this one. As Marsala to Carragher almost putting in the behind the back shot. As Carragher was lining that one up, just a little wide. And Ippoliti comes in big with a save. So just 3 and change left. Most likely a couple possessions for each squad. Looking for the ice pick, unable to get it. And Jackson Green almost firing in one top shelf, but that one just goes a little wide. Now Toman gonna dodge. What a move, Peter Toman! Underhand shot from the electrifying long pole as Toman, the UNC-bound senior, extends the lead for the white team. And now Luke Meyer, little speed dodge. He goes with the right hand, but that one just above the cage. So Barbera looking to turn the corner, and he's going to find the back of the net. Nico Barbera out of Ward Melville. He's playing his college ball at Siena. And he was a great piece for the Patriots this year. Him, Nick Bruckner, who was supposed to play in this game before he had a minor injury. Bruckner, who's headed to Harvard. He was excellent all year. And that'll do it for this one. What a day it was for the seniors. And this was a very fun all-star game between the 2023. Some guys hugging it out at the end. And we all wish the very, very best to these seniors playing college ball. Congratulations on an amazing high school career. You're watching the All Long Island games on the LI Sports Network. Be sure to tune in to the 2028s when we come back.